Hello, I'm Daisy Vulovich, and welcome to State College of Florida. Welcome to our annual Biotechnology Open House, where for the last 3 years, we've showcased one of the college's newest, most exciting, and fastest growing programs. Biotechnology is a degree program that truly demonstrates the college's willingness to respond to local community needs. Employers came to us and said there was a certain skill set missing and could we address that need? And out of those discussions grew our Associate of Science degree in Biotechnology. So each year for the past 3 years, we've held an open house where we've invited current students as well as the community to come in and learn a little bit more about what biotechnology is all about. So let's take a look as we visit with the professors who make this program so exciting and students both past, present, and hopefully future who'll be here with us at SCF. Let's go take a look.
My name is James Embry, and I go to Palmetto High School. I'm here this evening because my medical intervention teacher, Mrs. Thomas, suggested to come out to this open house. Over here I saw that they were growing bacteria. I found that to be very interesting. And I was planning to try to go into pathology, which piques my interest in this program.
I'm here with Dr. Matt Thomas, who oversees the college's biotechnology program. And Matt, we have been here now for 3 years doing this open house. Tell us a little bit about how the program has changed, and maybe even just start with, for people who don't know what biotechnology is, what is the field, and what's happened in the last 3 years here at SCF regarding the biotechnology program?
Well, I guess the most exciting thing is we now have graduates, which, year 3, it's a 2-year program. We should have graduates, and we do. And they're getting jobs in the area, not only in the local area of Sarasota, Bradenton, but also in the field that they're interested in. So that's been, really reassuring that we're doing the right thing for this program.
So let me ask you right now, with regards to jobs, who are the employers in the local area who are hiring our graduates?
Right. We have graduates at Enzymedica, which is a nutraceutical company. We have graduates at Rapid Pathogen Screening. We actually have a number of people there. World Precision Instruments is a brand new partner, kind of showing the growth of the program too. That's actually World Precision Instruments is an international company that's been in this area since the 80s, and nobody knows about them, but they have an international presence, and now they're on board, and they're ready to take our interns and thinking about hiring our students. So we're excited about that. I'm hoping they come tonight. But the types of positions are like application specialists, quality assurance technician, process engineer. It's kind of odd. Biotechnology is a marketing term that encompasses lots of things. It's hard to pigeonhole, even though that's what people are looking for.
So when I'm a student thinking about a career in biotechnology, I'm not really going to find a job posting for a biotechnologist necessarily. There are other kinds of job titles like the
lab specialist, lab assistant, lab technician, application technologist, technical assistant, quality assistant. They're basically entry-level positions. They're available, and there's, it has something kind of technical in its name. But you're not really ever going to find somebody who says, I'm a biotechnologist. That's a marketing thing that's convenient, but it's hard to find. Lab assistant is another good one. Laboratory technician, clinical tester, application specialist is another one I've heard. So there's a whole range of crazy titles, but they're out there. And that's where coming to meet us will help you learn what those are and help point you in the right direction. Besides giving you the skills, we'll help you show you how to search for this kind of stuff.
So we've been here now for 3 years doing the open house each year. What do you think have been some changes you've had to make in order to ensure that we're meeting the needs of employers in our area? Have you had to change some of the curriculum? Have you had to change some of your experiments? Tell us a little bit.
Definitely, we're responsive to our industry partners. I mean, that's what we're here for. They tell us what they need and what they use. And one thing they're really interested in is for students to be able to write the procedures. You know, what are you doing in the lab? We need a documentation of that. So having students get practice in doing that properly is a thing we've added to every class in the program. And so you get plenty of experience doing that sorts of things. And that was in direct response of what our employers wanted and asked of us.
So technical writing skills sound like they're very critical.
Yes.
What about some of the other things that we often call soft skills? What other things are employers saying our students need to have?
The idea of mentorship. And so I pair experienced students with new students. So you get a chance to be a mentor while you're still in class, which is something you do on the job all the time. And so getting some experience at a kind of a safe location to do that sort of thing is something we've added to the program.
One other question, and it's something that you alluded to earlier with the fact that we now have graduates, that so many of our graduates have gotten jobs because of internships that they've experienced in the area. Tell us a little bit about the whole experience of an internship. What can a student expect to experience in an internship?
Well, the internships, you go on site with the employer, and how you select an internship is often like how you get a job. So it's practice for applying for a job. So you do that as part of your internship. But then once you're at the location, it really depends on the company, because some students will work on quality assurance and they do a lot of paperwork, and other students are in a lab doing experiments and testing materials. And in another place, they are doing research and development. So there's both applications and research, and it really depends on the company and their needs. So we have a big variety, which is a nice component of this program and this field, is there's all kinds of different things you can find and get excited about.
Well, it looks like, as usual, you've got a pretty good turnout here of students that are both perhaps undecided. It looks like we've got some students from our collegiate school. So
I'm going to high school teachers here now. I think I just saw one walk in.
Wonderful. And I know that you've done a lot of work with some of the local high schools like Palmetto High School and so on. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to take a little break and let you visit with some of the students, and we'll come back later and talk to you a little bit more. How's that?
Great. Sounds great. Thanks.
Thank you. Christine Sorbonne is one of our success stories here at our biotechnology program, and I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about how she came to our program and what she's been doing since she's been gone, because you sort of did a boomerang. You left, but you came back. So tell us a little bit, because we got to talk to you last year. What have you been up to?
Well, since last year, I am back here at SCF. I work as a biotech laboratory assistant, prepping all the biotech labs and for the fundamentals of biology labs. And I recently, in fact this week, started my first semester at New College.
Wow. So what are you doing at New College?
I am majoring in biology with a concentration in molecular and cellular biology.
Okay, so those sound like pretty easy topics. So let me ask you this, Christine. What kinds of things, now that you've had a whole, week under your belt at New College, how has SCF prepared you for this next step?
Very greatly, I would have to say. New College is definitely very intense, and being here gave me great foundation to know how to prep myself for my classes, to study and how to get ready, especially for my science classes.
So now you're back here as a lab assistant. What advice are you giving to students who are brand new to the program that you think will help them be more successful?
Definitely look over your handouts before your class begins, and if you have questions, do not be afraid to ask.
What a great piece of advice. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and be a little prepared before you come to class.
Very prepared before you come to class.
Okay, so now we're looking at this thing shaking here. What are we looking at right here?
This is a acrylamide gel, and what we do on acrylamide gels is look at the size of proteins, or if the protein is actually in our sample.
And why is that important?
To know if a protein is in our sample, then we can go do further testing on that sample. Or if it's absent, then we know we need to backtrack and fix maybe an error that occurred, or it might not just occur into that particular sample.
So a lot of students don't really know what biotechnology is, but they do know that they have certain skills and interests that might fit well with this field, let's say. So what kinds of interests or skills or hobbies might somebody who likes to do that consider, biotechnology would be a good fit? How do they move into biotech?
I would definitely suggest making sure you really want to be in science first. So take like fundamentals of biology classes. And in there, especially in the labs, you get not as much hands-on, but you get to play with some of the pipettes and some of the things. And if you're getting skilled with those particular movements and with working with your hands that way, move into the biotech, because you work a lot more molecular in biotech. So you work a lot more with those pipettes.
So it sounds like attention to detail is also something very critical.
Very critical.
And how important is writing? Professor Thomas mentioned earlier that they were actually incorporating more technical writing in the program. How much writing do you actually do?
In the program, you keep laboratory notebooks, and these notebooks are like legal documents of record of your work that you're doing. And these notebooks in the field turn into ways you can get grants for your projects, turn into scientific papers. So critical writing and being able to interpret your results is very important.
So writing, math. Attention to detail, liking to work with your hands. It sounds like that's important too.
Very important.
So those are all things that if you're maybe undecided about a career, undecided about a major here at State College of Florida, biotechnology may be an exciting venture for you to pursue, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
And they boomerang. They leave and they come back. So we like that a lot too. So congratulations, Christine, and good luck at New College.
Thank you.
State College of Florida works very closely with our partners at the K-12 schools in developing a pipeline for our students. And a great example of the collaboration that we try to have with our local schools is with people like Mrs. Thomas, who's our biomedical instructor at Palmetto High School, who's here visiting us during the Biotechnology Open House. Mrs. Thomas, tell me a little bit about what you teach at Palmetto High.
Well, at Palmetto High, our biomedical science project program is run through Project Lead the Way, which is a national program. So the students are compared to students and doing the same curriculum as students all over the country. It incorporates chemistry, biology, and medical subjects, and what they do, it's more on a case basis. So you're solving problems, you're working together, you're doing things that you would do actually at your job.
Yeah, so it doesn't sound like a traditional classroom, but it's very much geared toward the real world experience, right? Okay.
Yes.
So how have you worked with Professor Thomas and Biotech?
With Professor Thomas, we always come out to their open house so the students can see what they can get here at SCF. We do field trips here. We have him come over and talk to our students. We do labs together. He introduces labs to us, and they come and they work with us, and they help us on our certification exam. We have a Biotech certification exam that we give the students, and Dr. Thomas helps us a lot with that.
What a great partnership. What do you think students who are undecided need to know to maybe get them to think about biotechnology as a vibrant, great career?
I think students need to know that there are many options in biotech. You're not necessarily just going to be working in a lab. There are many things that you can do. You can do quality, you can do work with packaging, all types of things. And I think once they get that down and they understand that they can do a lot of things, that they won't count biotech out.
Well, sounds like a great spokesperson for the career. And again, on behalf of State College of Florida, you are the reason we're here, is getting a career pathway for students from the high schools to the college and then out into the workforce. So we really appreciate, because we know it's hard to coordinate the times and the lesson plans. And thank you so much for your support.
I appreciate you guys too. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Mike Mears is our Vice President for Strategic Initiatives, and he's someone who really was here at the birth of biotechnology. We sort of teasingly refer to him as the grandfather of biotech.
Great-grandfather.
The great as in terrific, of course.
I'm not a biotechnologist, I know, but what a great program this is, Daisy. What a great place for our community to come and study biotechnology. It's a great example of collaboration between SCF, the area high schools, Palmetto High School. We got Bayshore High School, Southeast High involved. We've got the schools from Sarasota County, and then we've got our collegiate school students around too. Our collegiate school is very much involved. So you combine that with the biotech firms in this area, great program director and Dr. Thomas. We've got great things going on. Great to be here. Love the event.
So, real quick, collaboration and developing partnerships in the community are part of the college's new strategic plan. Why is that so important to State College of Florida?
Well, it's important that we're listening to our community and that we're not just trying to react, but really be there at the forefront, at the very beginning. When the ideas are birthed out in the workplace and the needs are developed, we want to hear about them. And we want to be able to respond. We've always been able to respond quick. Quality programs, quality students, that's what it's all about.
And really, biotechnology is a great example of that, isn't it? Because it wasn't a program that the college had really been thinking about until we had some employers come to us.
Yes, we did. Some of the area companies that were here were really the ones that contacted our natural science department. It was really under their request that we responded. Program got funded fairly quickly, got up and running, and now I think we're in our third or fourth year.
We actually have graduates.
Well, of course we do. Who would say we wouldn't have graduates? Of course we do. And the graduates are actually got great jobs
In our local area.
in the local area. Very good salaries, good packages, just doing a great job.
All right. Well, thank you for being the great grandfather that you've been. As we've mentioned earlier, our partnership with the local schools are really critical in getting students into our associate degree program and beyond. Palmetto High School is one of the schools that we partner with, and we have a student here, Marisol, who's from Palmetto High School. And Marisol, I want to ask you, why are you interested in biotechnology?
I'm interested in biotechnology because I want to get to know the field and I want to have a career in that biotechnology.
So what is it specifically that makes you have a passion for it? What is it that you like to do? Because I, for one, couldn't see myself working in a lab all the time. You know, I kind of like to get things done quick and dirty. This looks like it requires a lot of patience and attention.
Yeah, well, I like doing the labs most of all because you get to be hands-on and you get to learn everything about what's going on in the biotech field, and it's just a lot of fun when you get to go in the lab and figure out the results to everything.
Wow, you have a much different attitude about lab work than I do, which I love. So thank you so much, and best of luck to you in the program.
All right, thank you so much.
Biotechnology is one of many of our Associate of Science degree programs that we offer through Career and Technical Education. To recruit our students and advise our students, we have Jennifer Boris, who's been with the college a little over about 8 months now, right? So Jennifer, you've had a chance to get to know SCF prospective students and current students. What advice would you give to somebody who was thinking about going back to school and maybe is a little nervous or hesitant about doing so?
Okay, the biggest advice that I can give to any student either starting fresh or returning back to school is don't be afraid to ask for help. We have lots of different services, whether it be the ARC, the Academic Resource Center with free tutoring, or your professors, advisors. There's so many things out there to help the student be the most successful on their journey. So just ask for help. That's the biggest piece of advice I can give.
And if a student is undecided about a major, they finally have made the hurdle and they're coming in taking like our general education courses, our English, our math, history, what advice would you give them to figure out what degree they might pursue?
Well, with trying to figure out the degree, really they have to look into things that they're interested in, whether it be hobbies or articles or anything that would interest them. We also have a career center that you can take assessments so that if you did want to get a little help on which way to go, you could take an assessment that would help you push you in a direction. But otherwise, it's just really looking at what you're interested in.
All right, and students who may be thinking about something in career and technical education and aren't sure who to talk to, how do they get a hold of you?
Oh, the way to get a hold of me is I am on the SCF website. So if you look under Career and Technical Education, right at the top there is an email link that goes directly to my email box. So you can ask me any questions, whether it be about courses, about programs, program directors, managers, anything you need help with, just send me an email or call.
And your number, if I want to call you, is?
Oh, it's 941-363-7216.
And there you have it from somebody who clearly is not very enthusiastic about their job, but works for us anyway. Actually, you're very enthusiastic, and if this is the kind of help we have here at SCF, then please, if you're hesitant, call Jennifer. She'll get you excited about just about anything.
Definitely. Please call me.
Thank you. Students that have been with us tonight at the open house range from those that are completely undecided about what they want to do, to students who've graduated and have come back, to students such as Chuck, who are really in their last phase of their program here. Chuck, tell us a little bit about some of the classes that you've had to take as part of Biotech and where you are now in the program.
Currently, I'm finished with all of my coursework, and I'm looking for an internship. I have done everything from the plant and animal cell culture class to the RNA class, the DNA class. They have code names and everything, but I'm using the familiar name. But those are classes that have taught me many skills that I feel comfortable now walking into a laboratory and being able to work directly with whatever equipment that they have, as well as maybe teach them a thing or two about some of the stuff that they haven't used. So.
All right, so talk a little bit, because some people don't know what some of those skills are that they're learning in the lab. What specifically have you learned?
Sure. There's a lot of skills such as like forensic skills where you could do DNA testing or genetic testing to see if somebody is predisposed to an illness or something, or do the research on where a gene is located and what that gene might be responsible for. So it's a lot of DNA, RNA, it's a lot of genetic information and a lot on genetics, but you'll learn that there's 1,000 different ways that you can go with biotechnology. It's just like saying that you're getting a chemistry degree. There's 1,000 different things that you can do with a chemistry degree, but this helps you from every level to the intro class of teaching you what those applications are, where they're located, and also meeting some of the local people here that are using some of the different technologies and where you can find them, and possibly getting a job or an internship with those companies.
All right, so typically an internship is like the capstone of the program. It's one of the last things that students have to do before they graduate. So what is it that you're looking for in an internship?
I'm currently looking for a stem cell, a doctor that is working with stem cells, both for therapeutic applications, but also for possibly research. Because I own a personal training company of my own, that I would like to collaborate with that individual, as well as give them an experienced individual that can help them with lab work and some of the workload that they might be experiencing with some of the applications and technologies that we learn in here.
So your internship is something that you hope will lead you not necessarily to a new job, because it sounds like you've already got a career.
Correct.
Okay. But it's going to provide what for you?
It's going to provide me other avenues to be able to teach people how to use the technologies that are available and may not be FDA approved or may not be supported by insurance, and how to use those to better benefit their life and their lifestyle.
Chuck, what would you say to somebody who might be thinking about going into biotechnology here at SCF? Why should they consider our program?
They should consider this program because it's going to give you a lot of hands-on experience in the research laboratory setting, so that you can apply that to either a graduate program or a graduate degree, or even a future job or some other form of education or experience. So whether it's using it yourself or to help another company build their own company, that's what I would say to them, is that there's a lot of uses. So.
Okay, and for someone who isn't an SCF student yet and is apprehensive, what one piece of advice would you give anybody thinking about going back to school and maybe they're still a little afraid to do it?
Well, I've taken the tough road, so I've ruined my GPA and brought it all the way up to now a 3.5. So it's I can say from experience that it's once you get started and once you get on a good roll, just stick with it, because it gets tough. You know, things get trying and hard to do, and it's hard to make the commitment. But in the long term, it'll be worth it. You know, and all in all, it's a good experience at least. So.
Well, Well said, and we're glad that you took a second chance at SCF. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Each of our Associate of Science degree programs has to have an advisory committee. It's important for us to work with local employers to figure out if what we're teaching is what they need, and also how to create those partnerships so our students have the opportunity to have internships and to really see what our local employers need and want, and hopefully get a job. And with me right now are very important partners from World Precision Instruments. So Tammy, tell us a little bit about what your company does.
Well, we were established in 1967, and we are a manufacturing company for biomedical research equipment. We sell laboratory equipment. We stock labs.
And how long have you been with the company?
I've been there 12 years.
Okay, so you must like it pretty well. And Larry, what do you do with the company?
I'm in inside sales, and I've been there 4 years now.
So when looking at students to come into your workplace, can you tell me a little bit about some of the skills you're looking for in students who could potentially then become permanent employees?
Well, with our company, we really have a diverse range of things that we would be looking for. We have PhDs in our building. We are the home base, the headquarters for the company. We are worldwide. We have offices overseas, but we look for people with some experience in the biotechnology field, and anywhere from purchasing to marketing and research and R&D. And we met up with Matt Thomas, and we felt that we might be able to put some collaborations together with him, and we're actually kind of still working on that right now, trying to decide how we can fit in with what they do here. So
in terms of the skills that it sounds like obviously the skills are important across a wide array of aspects of your position or your company. Is there something in particular that you find if students have this skill that sort of puts them at the top of the line, the head of the class? Is there something in particular that you look for?
I'd say you just got to love what you do. Really, you got to love what you do.
Okay. And Larry, what would you say?
Well, again, as Tammy said, we're such a diverse culture. I think from a skill set standpoint, the way Matt works with his class and the equipment that he has here, we use a lot of this equipment and we sell this equipment.
Okay.
So it's not only working with it in our facility, but you can actually go out and talk to researchers and scientists throughout the country, Canada, and Europe about the materials that we're using and the stuff that we're doing. There's a lot of cell technology that we're involved in, and familiarity with that helps us both in design and understanding, communicating with researchers that we sell to, and helps us develop new products along the way. So it's a very diverse situation, it really is.
One of the things that makes me happy in what you're both saying is that it sounds like what we're doing in our laboratories is actually a good reflection of what's going on in the marketplace.
Well, we'd like to think so. We recently signed up for BioFlorida at Larry's research came up with that, and we're finding that there are just a plethora of businesses and companies and organizations that are really starting to pop up in this area. And from Miami to Tampa, they're just really starting to focus on this area and trying to increase the businesses in this part of the country.
That's a great point, because I know 3 years ago when we first started this program, BioFlorida had a Southwest chapter, and I want to say it was down like in Fort Myers, and in the last year or so they've opened up a Tampa Bay, actually a Sarasota Manatee chapter, right?
Yeah, we've been to several of their meetings, and we've met all kinds of different people, attorneys, bankers.
Vice Presidents now is sitting on the advisory council for Sarasota Manatee.
Yeah, so the fact that we have a major professional association seeing the need to cluster an association offshoot, if you will, here in our area, I think speaks real highly of the fact that there's business here to be had, and that we at SCF offering biotechnology truly is reflecting a need in our local area.
I agree.
Well, on behalf of the president and our board, we love when we have companies joining us. We love it that we have opportunities to partner with new companies. And I really encourage you, we do have advisory meetings from time to time. When you get that invitation, please attend. We want to continue to have that feedback as to making sure that what we offer in here is what you need, so that our students are speaking the language they need to speak out in the workplace. And again, we know that time is precious, so thank you so much for donating your time to SCF.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Chris Fisher is one of the State College of Florida collegiate high school students, and so he's here to learn more about biotechnology. And for people who don't know anything about the collegiate school, tell us a little bit about what that's all about.
Well, it's mostly a program for students that want to graduate from college 2 years early. So when you graduate from 12th grade, you're going to already have your AA. So it's like a accelerated learning program.
And how long have you been at the collegiate school?
I've been at the collegiate school for 4 years. This is my 4th year.
And what year are you in right now?
I'm in 9th right now, so.
So he's been with us since 6th grade. And the collegiate school here at SCF is really unique in the sense that it does start at the 6th grade. Many collegiate schools typically start at the high school level. So we have students from middle school through high school. And of course, as Chris said, the very unique aspect of it is when they graduate the collegiate school, they graduate with 2 degrees, their high school diploma and their Associate of Arts degree. So tell us, Chris, what brings you here today? Why might you be interested in biotech?
I've been a bit interested about biotechnology for a small bit, and I just wanted to learn a bit more about it. So,
what aspect of biotechnology interests you? I know I'm not a lab person, and it looks like there's all kinds of things that go on here. I take it you must like science.
Yeah, I like science a bit, so I haven't really decided since I haven't really known about it that long, so I'm here a bit to learn more and see what I might be interested in.
Well, then, we hope that you'll take the opportunity to talk to Dr. Thomas or Dr. Warwick or some of the students that are here, because it really is an ever-changing, growing aspect of our community. And again, as we spoke to one of the companies earlier, BioFlorida, which is a major professional association, in the last year has started a chapter specifically in our area. So that speaks to how much of a growing need and interest there is in this field. So, good luck, and we hope to see you here in the AS program soon.
Okay.
So we want to hear a little bit from our newly promoted assistant professor, Dr. Eric Warwick, with our Natural Sciences Department. He is an integral part of our biotechnology program, and one of the stories I'm asking him to share is what's been happening. We've been here now a few years, so we actually have had enough students who could graduate. Tell us about their experience.
Sure. So part of the requirements to graduate from the program is each student must do an internship. It's a semester-long internship with a local biotech company. Most of the students will choose to do their internship from one of our corporate partners, but a lot of times the students can also find an internship on their own. It just has to be approved by Dr. Thomas, but if it is, they could work there. A lot of times, most of the students will do their internship and impress their potential future employer. While they're doing their internship, those companies usually approach our students and said, we would like to hire you. So every single student so far to date that has done an internship has been offered a position with the company. Not every student has taken that opportunity to work for them because maybe it wasn't quite their first pick, but many of them do end up working for the company that they end up interning with.
So how exciting from the employer perspective, getting a chance to sort of try somebody out.
Right, so that's another beauty of this is some of the internships are paid. Some of the students might make minimum wage all the way up to $12 an hour. Other times the internship is not paid for. So it's a great opportunity for both the potential employer and the student to get a little bit of experience. Like the student gets a little bit of experience doing the work, see if they like it, and like you said, the employer then can kind of test out and say, like, do we really want to hire this person? But to be honest, most of the employers are so impressed with the quality of student that we're able to produce in the program. The program is very rigorous. You have to do a lot in the program to ultimately graduate. So the internship is something that the students will do typically in their last semester, just about before they're ready to graduate.
One of the things that we think is so important is that aspect of experiential learning to sort of be the capstone of everything they've done in class. But for somebody who hasn't stepped foot in this lab, maybe is on the SCF campus wondering about, gosh, I don't know what I want to major in. Why is biotechnology such a great major?
So, medicine, right? Everybody's concerned about medicine, health. Your health is really important. So the future of medicine is moving into individualized care, right? That's where they were saying that medicine might work for one individual, but it doesn't necessarily work for someone else. So we're trying to understand why that is. So back in around 2005, 2006, the Human Genome Project was completed. So we're now trying to understand, what does all that DNA sequence mean? So in an aspect of this, by learning the basic skill sets that you could learn in this class, you could then apply that later on as you'd move on, maybe to get a bachelor's degree, get a master's degree, work for a company that might be developing medications to target unique genes that might be expression. So currently, right now, cholesterol is a high concern for many individuals. A lot of individuals suffer from high cholesterol. So there's a couple companies out there that are targeting what's called the RNA. They're using small interfering RNA molecules to target the gene and shut the gene up, to telling the gene to turn off. So instead of producing excess cholesterol, you can tell the gene to turn off. So it has a lot of applications. Now these are in clinical trials for the general population. They're still in phase 3 clinical trials, but there's a lot of applications to that. And the more people that we can train to do science, we can ultimately get jobs for them. There's plenty of jobs for people in science. It's getting through the curriculum. That is the big obstacle.
But it sounds like here in our local area, jobs are aplenty if students are willing to come in, take their coursework, and then do their internship.
Definitely. So that's sort of what we're seeing is like, so during the Great Recession, the unemployment rate was, upwards of 12%. But in the sciences, that rate was somewhere around 5%. It might take somebody in the sciences about 6 months to find a job, comparatively where the unemployment rate was very high and people were not finding jobs. But again, you have to have very unique skill sets to that. So more specifically to our area, you may not be able to directly get into medicine work right away, but agriculture has a big implication to growing tomatoes, growing citrus, addressing those issues like citrus screening. So biotechnology is hopefully going to be one of those ways that we can combat citrus screening by maybe engineering strains of citrus crops that will be resistant to greening, or developing a new antibiotic that could ultimately treat that bacterial infection.
Well, with all of the people you've had a chance to meet tonight and our faculty, it's an exciting program, and the exuberance that you and Dr. Thomas have for the program surely must make your students just love coming to class every day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
SCF prepared me for my career in biotechnology.
Well, as you can see, I am all ready to get enrolled in this biotech program, aren't I?
Oh yes, you're all set. You got the lab coat, the goggles. Next thing to do is just sign up, get a hold of us.
I've got the look. But if I've got the interest or somebody else out there has got the interest, what's our next step? How do we get a hold of you?
Well, there's a number of ways. You can shoot me an email at thomasm1@scf.edu. You could go to the SCF webpage and bring up the biotechnology program, which is easy to find off the homepage. You can come to the Natural Sciences Department, and anybody in there will be happy to help you and send you to me. We have a Facebook page, Biotechnology at SCF. We're always putting stuff up on there, so there's plenty of ways to get a hold of us. So give us a call, and we'll get you started.
Well, I'm definitely going to like you on Facebook.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us here at State College of Florida in our Biotechnology Open House.